All right, everybody, now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, the incredibly beautiful and talented actress, writer, producer, Sadie Katz. Hello and welcome to the show.
Thank you. I love being back.
We love having you. You already know everybody, but since we always have to do it anyway, let me introduce my cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
My sweetie, I do not blow smoke up people's asses to make them feel good, but you're one of my favorite bitches. And when Jimmy said you were coming on, I got so excited. I said, Sadie Katz, I loved you the last time, and I'm going to love you twice as much this time.
If that's even possible, I'm stoked.
Yes.
Love, I need it.
And then we have the man
Listen, everybody out there, this is one fabulous, I'm not going to even say act. No, this is one fabulous piece of our business.
There you go. You got the man behind the boards, Mr. Chad Murphy.
Sadie, welcome back. Good to have you again.
Nice to be back. Thank you.
And we have a chat room full of people, so say hello to everybody in the chat room.
Hi, chatters. Is that what they call them? What do they call chat room people?
Well, chatters works.
Yentas.
Hi, chatters. Come on.
I call them yentas. Nosy little people who come in to hear all the stuff that I get out of people. Like, are you straight, gay, a slut, a whore, a good person? They love it.
Which, by the way, okay, so you guys, this is, I think, our third time we've had Sadie on the show.
And we love it.
She came on one time to promote a movie that she wrote, and I don't know if you were even in it or not, Scorn, but I know you wrote it.
Yes, I have a cameo at the end that's kind of a wink to the audience that's fun, but no, I wrote it and I did the cameo.
Then we had you on to promote Ron.
How did it do?
Scorned? It did really well. It was, like a $2.5 million film by Anchor Bay with Anna Lynn McCord. And every now and then I go to my mailbox and I see that green envelope from the Writers Guild and I get a nice chunk of money. Not too much, but,
Hey, that's good.
Well, you'll get that for as long as the film is ever shown.
Yeah.
Forever. So you could be 90 years old and get like a 20-cent check. Because it gets less. Each year it gets less. Each time they show it, rather, the amount gets less. Am I correct?
Yes. So, in the beginning, I would get in and go, oh, actually,
all of it.
Palm Springs.
Because a SAG check gets less each time they show your work. It's not a SAG check. It's who gives you the, like that shitty movie I made. Every time it plays, do I get like $1?
You don't get anything.
12 cents.
It's terrible.
No.
It's so terrible. His was so bad we don't get paid.
No, I got $100 a day. I'm not supposed to say this. This is years ago. Got $100 a day, and at the end, what is it called at the end when you get
Residuals?
Yeah. What's it called? At the end, there's an expression we use. Slipped my mind. At the end, you get paid whatever at the end.
On the back end.
On the back end. On the back end.
Yeah, except for that ours didn't make more than like 8 cents.
I know, but I like
deferred. Yes, deferred.
I like Lincoln, and I don't mind getting 5 or 6 Lincolns on a check.
Yes. Well, have you been to Residuals, the bar? If you bring in a check under $1, you get a free drink, and they put it on the wall.
Oh, you're
cool.
kidding? I should
I think it's in Burbank.
We need to go there.
I will get stoned, and the wall will be covered.
So then we had you on for Wrong Turn 6, which I totally had no idea that you were going to be the crazy bitch in Wrong Turn 6. I thought you were going to be one of the hot girls that gets mutilated, but instead she's the hot crazy bitch, and it is really fun. I mean, it was a really fun movie.
A lot of guys out there like crazy hot bitches.
Could you introduce me to some?
Yeah, I will have to introduce you to some because I'm sure they will. And Wrong Turn is one of my favorite series, and I know that all of them aren't good, but they're fun. Every single one of them is campy and fun, and we've had a lot of the people from the different films on the show, and so it is a lot of fun. And I was very impressed, and then I started following your career, and I always go on your IMDb and look because kind of like when we first had you on, you were becoming well known. Now you're doing 1 million films a year, and instead of being number 10, and instead of being number 10 on the cast list, you're in the top 3 in all of them. And so I want to say, number one, congratulations.
Thank you.
The career is absolutely taking off, and I've had a whole bunch of fun with a lot of your films. And I know we're going to talk about your new documentary.
Let me just say a few things about Sadie that makes her interesting. Lara Spencer, Good Morning America, is a very good friend of my family's. She grew up in my house in New York on Long Island, so I know Lara.
How do you know she knows who Lara is?
Do you know Lara Spencer from Good Morning America?
No.
Okay. That's okay. She's a very famous media reporter. You sound exactly like her. The reason why Good Morning hired Lara was because of her voice. One of the reasons. You have this wonderful, husky, gravelly voice that is so penetrable and so memorable, and that goes for you. Now we'll talk about, you're probably, what, I think 83 years old, and you look 17. You have that eternal youngness about you. But I'm sure with makeup you could play 35 and you could play 15. What a wonderful range for an actress. The rest is you're talented, you're personable, and I love you. So how could you not go wrong?
You know what? I needed that. Thank you.
I'm serious. Listen, I don't make up bullshit. I hate people.
Yeah, if he doesn't like you, he lets you.
I go to cocktail, like, I can't use a name, but he's a very famous actor from my day, and he was a lousy actor always. And at a cocktail party, people were carrying on about, I'll give you his first name, George. They said, George, what a wonderful actor. We loved you. Oh, you were fabulous. And I just looked at him and I said, he was not. He was tall and handsome and walked through the movie talking lines, not acting, talking lines. And he looked at me and got very insulted. He doesn't talk to me anymore. But I just couldn't stand the fact that they were making...
why.
No, I'd give credit where credit is due. If it's not due there, shut your mouth and say, oh, I love your shirt.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Well, I love the
voice too that's like that, and I always think people either like my voice or they're like, "What's going on?"
Love it.
Yeah. So thank you.
I love it.
Wait, hang on. There was an actress, Mercedes McCambridge. You know her, Academy Award winner.
Yeah,
Fabulous.
I do. Yeah.
She was in so many great films, and she had a voice similar to yours, except yours is feminine, hers was masculine, because I think she was a dyke. But anyway. Well, that's what the rumor was.
Hold on. So let's go. So first of all, though, like I love the fact that you're doing all these like films, and I love the fact that you're like starring in all these films. And I know you have a new movie coming out that I don't even know if we're supposed to talk about it, but I don't care if we're allowed to. But Party Bus to Hell, because like everybody's contacting us to have different people from that on the show, and it looks like so much freaking fun.
What position are you in that film?
She's number 2.
Number 2? Woo! Good girl.
Tara Reid's number 1.
And it looks like a blast.
We don't say anymore starring or co-starring. That's gone. Now we say, what position are you in the film? 1, 2,
I think
3.
it looks like a total blast, though. When is it coming out? Do you know when it's coming out?
It's coming out April 13th. It will come out on DVD and VOD. But April 20th, they're doing select screenings at 5 different locations to see how it does. So
I love that.
It's kind of one of those things you want to see. And they changed it to Bus Party to Hell because of the name on the scroll. But
wow.
I mean, it's absolutely this ridiculous film. Lots of boobs, lots of sex, lots of fun. I play a crazy character.
Well, listen.
Which now I know you can do that after seeing you in
Listen, where are you playing? Is it going to preview anywhere here near Palm Springs?
You know what? That's kind of interesting. I should talk to them.
To do it.
And say that we should do a screening over at the Camelot.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. We will promo it to death. We have 4.5 million viewers, if more. I think we have closer to 5 now, and we're all over the world, so we could really blast that out. Plus, you'll come to my house for dinner.
Yeah.
So we get to know you better.
I would love that. And you know what? The movie itself is. I knew it would be fun when I read the script. Rolf Kaninsky wrote it, and it moves. It's exactly what you expect it to be. I wouldn't say that it's more. It's exactly fun. You want to get, have a couple drinks, maybe smoke a little bit, and
No smoking. Now you can take gummy bears and get the same effect.
Ooh, I like that. I actually just bought some lemonade, like a couple.
No, they have cookies with pot in it. They have gummy bears with pot in it. So now you don't have to smoke and put that nasty smoke in.
I didn't know how many gummy bears to have, though.
No, you only have one.
No. If you have one gummy bear, you're out of it for 6 hours. So if you only eat a leg or an arm, you're okay. But don't eat the whole torso. If you eat the torso, you're finished. Not that I do it, but this is what people said to me.
Yeah. I think you have
Now
to.
listen, I want to ask you a question. This is a very hard question for you to answer because you don't want to sound like you're narcissistic. How did you think you did in the film, and were you happy with the way you were photographed and lit?
That's such a great question because when I got there, I'll be totally honest, I knew that I was going to be doing some nudity. I was sort of concerned, so I met the DP, Michael Sue, and I went straight up to him. I said, Michael Sue, I'm willing to do nudity. I'm fine, but how are you going to make sure I look good? Don't film this, film that. And then he just looks at me and he pulls out on his cell phone a picture of Cher that he had just photographed, all these pictures. And he goes, if I can make her look good.
Yeah, she's 137.
But it looks amazing. So he lit me so well, thank God. And I wasn't supposed to, like, I wanted to play this character, Joan. She's crazy, she's irreverent, and she's having a ball. And she's sexed up and wants to have sex with everyone on the bus, and she's looking for her virgin. That's one of the kids on the bus. And, there was no way to do it except to really go for it. You'd have to see the film to see how absolutely crazy I am. I think I'm crazier than Sally in Wrong Turn.
Well, we're going to see the film for sure. I mean, that's a given.
So I think what happened is I did 100% everything I could give, and then when I watched it in the theater, I was separate enough. I was surprised how long my boobs were on camera, but I kind of knew that could happen, and I thought it was fun.
Long.
Now, did you wear a flesh-colored like a pube patch? Most girls wear it's a G-string kind of flesh-colored thing so that the labra and the bush doesn't come out. Well,
strict. No, I have to keep my panties on when I'm shooting.
Well, you could. No, why don't you just wear this strap? It's like a bathing suit. You ever see them? You know who wore one? What's her face? One my daughter worked for, the blonde, the famous actress, very famous movie star. Oh my God! My daughter was her personal manager.
Oh, Sharon Stone.
Sharon Stone.
Oh,
Sharon Stone did it.
If I'm doing it in big movies like that,
you should buy one. It's wonderful. A string goes up the crack of your butt. It's all flesh-colored, see-through. Then the side straps you can't see. They go in the crease of your legs, and then over your entire pubic area is a is a flesh-colored nylon G-string.
I'm getting very high. I actually did that when I did a show for Playboy. I did a little, soft erotica show, and I wore something like that, and they put the hell out of me. But for this, I mean,
you went totally nude.
No, she wears panties.
So
I had what you're talking about. No, I have what you're talking about. The sticker, we call it a snatch patch.
A snatch patch to match, right? A sticker, right?
So I have to say though, first off, because I haven't seen obviously Bus Party to Hell, which they haven't.
One more question about that, and I'll be finished. Did you tint your nipples?
They're naturally the perfect shade of pink.
Okay, but if not, tint your nipples. The photograph's very luscious.
No, what I was going to say, though, because we haven't seen, which, by the way, they have to change Party Bus to Hell on IMDb because I looked at it today and it says Party Bus instead of Bus Party. But, like, when I saw you in Wrong Turn 6, I thought, oh, my God, like, look how hot you are in that because
Absolutely.
you show some flesh in that. And, like, I'm gay, and I was like, oh, my God, look how hot she looks, and, like, so if you can get gay guys to say, oh, my God, how hot she looks, you're really, like, knocking it out of the park.
And I said, what does this bitch eat to have that body? I mean,
like, Christ. She doesn't eat anything.
I mean, what do you do? Do you starve to death? I mean, seriously, are you on what is it that other people are on?
Adderall?
Adderall?
No, do you have a contact that would make things easier? No.
Everybody in film today is on Adderall, so they don't need to stay skinny.
You're so right. You're so right. You know what's funny? Actually, my weight kind of flummoxes, like 10 pounds. I think I go back and forth because I'm a curvy girl. So before I shot Bus Party, I pretty much starved myself for the couple weeks before. I probably need to do another round of that. I mean, anyone who's over 30 who tells you like losing weight's just about working out's a liar.
Absolutely. You have to not eat.
You have to cut back on food, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give me all your measurements. Give me your height and your body measurements.
What am I? Well, right now I'm probably a little bit heavier than I should be. I'm 5'7".
You're a tall girl.
which 127, which is a little bit too high for me.
No,
So
125, perfect.
I could be 117. It looks good on camera, but in life I look good. So I'm 34C, 26, and probably 35 and a half.
Now that's why you got a body of death with those measurements, my dear.
So real quick, because I'm going to get us out of the horror thing also, but like I never saw Blood Feast, but I just want to know if Robert Russler's cool, and if he's cool, like I want to get him on the show, and he's like one person I've never met, so like if he's cool, you got to like introduce him to me on Twitter.
Yeah, all I can do is Robert's very serious. He's a very good actor. He's cool. He's very serious.
Thrashin' is one of my favorite like movies of the 80s, and a good friend of mine, Brooke Carter, was in it with Josh Brolin and Robert Russler, who died a couple years ago, but he was a good friend of mine, and I love that movie to death, and so I've always, just because he played the Dagger, the head of the Daggers in that movie, I would love to get him on. All right, so let's go move forward though then.
I'll connect you though. I'll connect you, and he's really good in the film, and he's crazy as hell in the film.
I'm gonna see it too. So now you did something totally wacky and different. That's so not Sadie Katz. You have a documentary out, which you actually produced and starred in, right?
Yeah, and directed. Yeah.
It's It's called The Bill Murray Experience. It's totally out of, I mean, it's not out of everything, but out of from all the great films that we've seen you in, this is like totally like, going around the world in a totally different direction. So tell everybody a little bit about it. I actually have the trailer. We're going to play it for everybody. So they can see it, and Chad will get it ready. But tell us, why did you do this?
Well, I mean, honestly, I say it. I started to get really super fascinated by Bill Murray having all these random meetings with everyone, and I was like, why don't I have this magical meeting with Bill Murray? And it was going so viral, and it was so exciting, and I really wanted to do, I love documentaries. I'm really a big fan of like Morgan Spurlock type docs, and I'm like, how come no girls do that? Right? So I was like, I didn't really want to do a horror film because I wanted to do something that was closer to my heart in a different way, like maybe more revealing of me. And as you guys know, I'm a nut, but I'm also pretty sensitive. And
you're not a nut. You're just fabulous.
Oh, right.
Crazy people are quiet. They don't even speak. They just sit there rolling their eyes, looking to kill you. You're not a nut. You're a personality.
Well, I wanted to do something that was more about personality and fun, and who better to chase than Bill Murray?
This is Bill Murray, the actor.
Yeah, like the super ass famous actor.
Well, we have to make that clear to our audience.
Oh, sorry. So, well, you'll see in the trailer, and it was going so viral that I kind of was like, the idea of Bill Murray being like you guys. I mean, who wouldn't want to hang out with you guys? I'm sure you have so many of your fans who watch this show would love to, have a great experience and know amazing.
They all want to come to the pool.
Yeah, living in Palm Springs, Jimmy and I went out to dinner 2 weeks ago, and we just became great friends with Tristan Rogers, the soap opera star, and his wife, and this lovely girl called Kim something, who's a major
Waltrip, who's a major producer.
Major producer. Do you know the name, Kim Waltrip?
She did a movie with Jessica Chastain.
She produced everything in Hollywood. She's a major, major producer. We should get you to meet her.
We will. Eventually we will, but go back to the movie.
You know what? When we do the party for you, I'll invite them.
I love a good dinner party.
And then you'll meet Tristan, his wife, and you'll meet Kim.
Anyway, go back though. Okay, so you got this crazy
idea.
idea.
To cast you
okay, hang on. You got this crazy idea though, so you want to have your own Bill Murray experience.
Yeah. And so it started with that, and I wanted my girlfriends to be involved in it. I didn't really want it just to be like Sadie chasing Bill Murray. I thought they all had their own New Year's resolutions, but this was my first film. So honestly, the first act of the film is kind of me finding my way about how to do the documentary and what I'm doing. And then the second act does a really, you see me actually become a filmmaker and start to take it seriously, which is exactly what happened in real life. Documentaries kind of unfold and lead you on the story. So that's what happened.
So where and when can we see this?
Well, it's already released on all platforms, and Joel Murray is in it, and PJ Souls, and somebody else. You'll have to see it to see. But it's on all platforms, and it comes out in Blu-ray and DVD on Friday the 13th of April.
Is it on Roku?
No.
How come?
Well, it'll be on platforms, so it'll be on. Is it on Netflix?
Hulu,
Netflix, Hulu, so we can get it through our Roku, but it's not on Roku.
I love documentaries. Jimmy doesn't care for documentaries. I love them.
Well, this is a fun, lighthearted one. There's some sadness. You'll see a different side of me. I'm pretty vulnerable. I would love, the thing was, I really did get super obsessed with Bill Murray. But as you know, when you're doing anything in creative, you tend to get obsessed about it because that's the only way it gets done. And I worked on it for 3.5 years, 2 years, and then in post and then getting it in film festivals. It actually had its premiere in Palm Springs, and I'm going to be back there for Amdocs in April, actually.
Okay,
so terrific.
So we'll do it in April. We'll have you over and do a thing. Now listen, let's not talk about your business. No. I want to talk about her private life.
No. We're gonna play the trailer for the documentary.
But wait, I got to give them a teaser. Okay, if we're gonna go off to film, I'm gonna give our audience a teaser. Who are you dating now? Go to film.
Okay. Chad, do you have the trailer?
I do.
All right, so Sadie, you introduce it. We're going to play the trailer for everybody, and then we come back. We're going to find out about your life.
Who my Sadie is dating, and
you guys
gotta beat up.
You got to watch the trailer to get the answer to the question.
Cliffhanger.
And in the chat room, they're saying you're so bloody hot. Just be quiet, everybody, and let everybody just look at her.
I mean, I love her. You know what, audience? She's wonderful. Everybody loves her. When she's on the screen, you just look. You don't even remember you have to pay bills or that your husband's cheating or your wife is a whore. You don't remember any of those things, or your husband Jimmy's a big homo. You don't remember any of those things. You just look at her and go, oh, isn't she something
All right,
else?
so Sadie, go ahead. Do us an intro, and Chad's going to play it for everybody.
Here's the trailer for the world-renowned The Bill Murray Experience. Ooh.
There we go.
Bill Murray's career path is unlike any other actor of his generation. It has taken him from the revolutionary comedy of Saturday Night Live to the sadness of Lost in Translation.
So what the heck is a Bill Murray experience? Well, I don't know. It takes on a different form every time. I had a simple quest to have a Bill Murray experience.
I'm starting to wonder what kind of a good idea this is. Bill or bust?
I think it's another harebrained idea from Sadie.
I am drinking too much, I'm partying too much, and I'm under the Bill Murray fever like you've never seen before. This should be easy to drive with, right?
Songbirds sing, I love you, wrap the moon.
I want Bill all to myself.
Driftly a feather, though we could not be together someday.
Bill would call me regularly every morning at 3 a.m. and say, please come to my room.
It's like I'm going to prom and I forgot to buy a prom dress. I lost my friends, I lost my boyfriend, I lost my home.
Trying to get a Bill Murray experience is a Bill Murray experience.
Give me Bill Murray!
And I think we could still be friends, 'cause someday I'll fly too. Someday I'll find you again.
And I'm gonna go, I'm gonna hug him and say, I'm just kidding. I'm not though.
All right, there you go, gang. Bill Murray Experience.
Hey, everybody, that was the Bill Murray Experience, written, directed, produced, and starring Sadie Katz.
Looks good.
Now we're
Hang
gonna
on. And you can get it on Hulu,
Amazon,
Amazon,
iTunes,
Hulu, iTunes,
VOD, every.
all the cool video on demand platforms. So you guys
definitely Netflix yet, though. We're waiting for Netflix. That will be at the end.
Okay, so everybody, we want you to totally support indie filmmakers. She probably makes some money if you go and see it. So rent it, download it, watch it, buy it, whatever, do whatever, and let's support indie film. All right, go ahead.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the answer to that question: who are you dating?
Okay, so I need to get this off my chest because it just happened. So I was dating this guy that I really liked, and then out of the blue, everything's great. We went away to Palm Springs together, having a wonderful time, and then he sends me a text message saying that we have different lifestyles.
Oh, please,
I'm like,
please.
I go, what do you mean? He goes, well, you're just you're this wild free spirit, and my life's better having known you. I've never gone through that, so I was a little devastated. So now I am like totally single.
Well, how did you
what was
respond to
wrong
that
with
text?
you know what was wrong with him? He had a small dick. Men with small dicks cannot deal with women that are fabulous like you. Get a guy that's hung like a mule, and then you'll see a guy that has his power. Because when you get wild and crazy and you make him look like nothing, you make him look evaporated. He has the power of his dick. And then he says, okay, bitch, you want to be the star? You want to be the I'll show you, and bang!
See, that's what I need. I like it.
Of course, you have to be a size queen. We have to teach you how to be a size queen. Come to Palm Springs. We'll give you 10 lessons on how to check a crotch out.
I love it. First of all, yeah, you should have sent him back a text, Joe. It was great knowing you two, and I really need someone who's a better jump in my life if the relationship's going to go better.
Any guy. I'm gay, okay, but I was married for 16 years, so I know what it's like sometimes to be straight. I can envision it. I can imagine it. I kind of create it. I was an actor all my life, so I knew how to act straight. I only wanted a wife like you, but I had a wife that I think died before we got married, and she was just a walking corpse. Not because she was boring, quiet, gorgeous. I mean, beautiful, Dutch blonde with green eyes, a beautiful woman, great figure, but no personality. And I thought it was just a lonely life for me. I was always on. I'd walk into a room and people would talk to me and they'd just say hello to her. And that used to bother me. But a woman like you, beautiful with a body like you, all right, the business, I got to admit, I'm an actor, so I know what that shit's all about. It's a drag being in love with the actor. Jane Russell, the famous movie star, when Howard Hughes called her in the office and Jane was dating John Payne, a famous movie actor, Howard Hughes said, Jane, why on earth would you want to date an actor? And that was one of Jane's.
So he wasn't, though, right? He wasn't an actor. He was.
No, I'm not foolish enough to want to date just actors. Like, he was a normal guy. He was retired,
How old was this guy?
In the chat room, they're saying, what an idiot.
Hang on. How old is he?
56.
The fuck are
That's
you doing?
terrific.
What are you doing?
That's terrific.
It is not terrific unless he's got
I'm like a manly man, so I figured,
How many millions was after his name? Any millions? No millions. 58.
Yes, of course. He was financially set off. He was financially okay.
Did he take you to nice restaurants?
He did take me out nice. I haven't had that situation, and I'm learning from it. I think I'm very sweet and I have lots of fun with someone. So like if they say I love you and I want to be with you, I take that at face value.
Well, we all do.
You should take it at face value.
Give me this guy's number after the show. I'm going to call him. And I'm going to say to him, listen, latent homosexual, come out to Palm Springs. We'll introduce you
in the
to
chat
some
room.
guys.
They're saying, how lame is that by sending you a text message? Dave Hughes,
that was crude.
Dave Hughes, who's in the UK, who loves you. He's the one, like, he's just like drooling over you, and he's just like, what an idiot. And everybody else is just saying, you just got to forget that one. He's just not the right one.
Yeah.
He's not the right one for anyone. He was a player. He was a user, and whatever he got,
but you made him look
enjoyed.
good. I'm sure he was good looking though, because I'm sure you don't go out with anybody who's not at least pretty to you.
Well, it's still
really weird things for bald men.
58 years old. His penis is half hard. His balls are down to his knees. I mean, he's not attractive at 58.
No, that's
please.
not true. I only like older
Go
guys.
get a 30-year-old. Go get a hot.
Oh yeah, you could be a MILF.
What's a MILF?
Well, here's the
Mom, I love to fuck.
Who?
Mom, I love to fuck. A MILF.
Mom?
Yeah.
Like mother?
Yeah. A MILF.
I never heard of it.
MILF.
Like
Okay. It's when you're older. It's older
like
women,
you.
younger men. Older women, younger men. MILF.
My daughter.
You're a DILF.
I'm a what?
A DILF.
What is that?
Dad, I love to fuck.
I think you're disgusting. Thank God I don't travel in his filthy circles.
Okay, go ahead.
Talking about Jane
Wait,
Russell.
let her finish. Let her finish. Go ahead, Sadie.
No, I was just going to say I tend to, because I have my 16-year-old son, I tend to like date older men, and I have a thing for bald men, but I'm now starting
Bald old men? We need to talk, honey.
I agree with you, actually.
well, they've got like that raw masculinity, even when they're feminine, like the Stanley Tucci. I don't know. But now I've got to stop that. I've got to stop it.
Hey, Dave in England, why don't you call her and come
He's
over?
married. He's married.
Oh.
Well, he's just drooling of you from far away.
Well, then tell him to stop drooling, or we're going to tell his wife and she'll knock the hell out of him. I mean, come on, you're married, Dave. Grow up.
All right, so bucket list, because we've got 10 minutes. Bucket list. Bucket list. All right. If you could work with any male and female actor that you have not had a chance to work with yet, who would you like to be? And then be thinking, after you answer, also if you could have been in any movie that's ever been made in history, what movie would it have been where you would have been the lead?
Oh my gosh. Okay. The first one, the second question, I have to say, I would have loved to be in Moulin Rouge, even though I can't sing.
Really?
But it's a great movie.
I'm shocked.
I love that movie.
Or I would have loved, I think, The Shining. I would love to play, what is it, Shirley MacLaine's character? No, what's her name?
No, the skinny one, Olive Oil.
Yeah, the Olive Oil. Just because she loses her mind and it's so.
You like to play
You'd
crazy.
be good at that too, though. You would be good at that.
Or I'd love to be Monster. You Charlize Theron in Monster.
That's a good one too.
That would be so scary, but also
Shelley Duvall.
And anything I think Jodie Foster did back in the day, I would love to work with Jodie Foster. And possibly, if he's not crazy anymore, Mel Gibson. I think he's really gifted. I don't know what he's.
Mel Gibson is not crazy. He just is anti-Semitic.
Now, I always wonder, because I read this other thing, but his dad was. So I would love to work with M. Night Shyamalan as the director would be really interesting.
Yes.
I would have said Woody Allen, but I think he's kind of no bueno anymore.
No, Woody Allen is tough. I never enjoyed a Woody Allen film because every actor in his film was directed to behave, act, speak, timing just like him. And
oh my God, you're right.
Became a bore because no one in the world is 5 people in a room all speaking the same, moving the same, and acting the same. So I never thought much of Woody Allen. I thought he was very much a product of the day.
But M. Night Shyamalan, that's different. He was from Philadelphia. We never met him, but
no.
And we lived right outside of Philadelphia.
I would like to see you in a very, very dramatic, important role of a woman who is young and grows old in the film.
Oh, how wonderful would that be?
You do that. And possibly,
like a lifespan.
Yes, an epic. And possibly winding up at the very end alone in a chair, mentally ill.
I would love that.
From the guy that you dated that sent you the text.
You're gonna die alone. You're gonna die alone. You know what's so funny is I would love to actually, I'm going to write this. My son and I, poor guy, but he loves to move, but we've moved 19 times since my son's been alive.
Oh, I've got you beat. I moved cross country, up and down, north, south, Florida, New York. Got you beat, babe. Got you beat.
Oh,
19.
I have moved 32 times in my life. Cross country, and up and down.
But she's younger than you, so.
Yeah, that's true. When you're my age, you'll probably do the same.
Big deal. I think it would be, there's so many, my son and I have all these crazy things that have happened way outside the normal, and he's kind of toughed it out. And I want to write some kind of opus to that I don't think I necessarily would play, but I'm interested in that. Or I would love to play somebody who's, like losing her mind and then having to come back, like a reverse Alice in Wonderland. I don't.
That would be cool.
But I think that would be really exciting. And of course, I'd love to work with Bill Murray, even though I heard he's very terrible to work with sometimes.
Right.
He's moody.
Right.
So.
No, I would like to see you seriously in a because I feel being an actor, the most difficult thing to do acting is to be realistic and believable in a heavy-duty drama. Because you can either overact and look like a moron or underact and look like a nothing. And to get that timing, that wonderful believability. That little fine line of timing is so difficult. Who does it? I've got to tell you, the most brilliant, and don't feel bad, actress in the world right now, who I'm totally crazy in love with, and I want on our show. She was Lady whatever in downtown.
Lady Mary in Downton Abbey.
And now she's in this wonderful television show where she plays, listen, this is a role for you, a prostitute, a murderess, a shoplifter, a dope addict,
drug addict,
and she has a black son. This girl, her name is...
the name of the show is Good Behavior.
Michelle, the show is Good Behavior. You must watch it.
It's on TNT.
You will learn from it. This girl can do anything. She's English. She does a New York accent with the Brooklyn flavor, which not a heavy. It's a beautiful accent. She's beautiful. Her work is outstanding. How she doesn't get Emmys and stuff, I'll never know. This show you must see.
No, you would like it.
Watch it. I'm kind of stoked about it.
The writers wrote a character that doesn't quit.
It's really one of the best shows on TV on TNT. There's 2 seasons, and they're doing the 3rd season now.
Michelle Dockery is. I want her on the show. I can't reach her because she's in England now, and she's wonderful. And this is the kind of roles that I would like to see you in, where you change completely from who you are, this sweet little girl, to this raving bitch that does anything, a ruthless girl who's cunning and stealing and whatever.
Dave Hughes says he's lost 4 pints of drool, 4 pints of water drooling.
Dave,
you're a married man.
I would like to see you as an action hero because I like superhero movies and I don't like Scarlett Johansson, so I think you should have played her role in all the Avengers movies.
Oh, Scarlett Johansson I like now. I didn't in the beginning because she looked like a boy, a man.
But I think you'd be a good action hero.
She always looked like a lesbian to me for some reason, but now, no, really.
She's very reserved. You know, when I met her, I was at the SAG Technical Awards, and she was at my table, and she's tiny. I mean,
she really? She looks so big and butt.
Well, she's curvy, so she's short and she's super like a Betty Boop type. At least she was then, but she was pretty quiet at the table. I wasn't blown away by her mostly because she was just so private, reserved, kept to herself, got up and hosted, and then sat down, ate, and left. So.
Well, that's what closet.
But I would like to see
closet Hollywood dykes do.
I would like to have you though, like in some of her roles, or like Charlize Theron's role in like Atomic Blonde or something like that. Like I like see you in like kind of like a badass, because I already know you can play badass because you were solely badass in Wrong Turn 6. You know, nobody would have ever expected that from you, and so that shows that you have such a great range and you can do a lot of things. So just add a little kicking ass with like guns and swords and shit, and I would like be like all over it. I think you'd make a
little
great
Hollywood
action hero.
trivia. When I lived in Beverly Hills, Angelina Jolie, who was Angie Voight, was my daughter Deirdre's best friend. They went to school together to El Rodeo, and they grew up together. Now, when I asked Angie once, you want to be like your father? You want to be an actress? And she said, I don't know. Well, anyway, Angie turned out to be probably one of the finest actresses we have today. And I think I'd like to see you in some of those sort of roles, like the one where she was a drug addict with, what's her name? Gia. I mean, if they do a remake, I'd like to see you in something.
I like the one where they're
like in something really.
When did she win for an Oscar? Well, you know, I have to tell you guys the truth.
And she's a doll in person. She's everything they say about her is wrong. She's a sweetheart.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I always wondered because, you know, I was one of those people that was very upset at her about Jennifer Aniston, but now it turns out.
Can I give you a little Hollywood dirt that I know that nobody knows? When Angie Voight was living on Roxbury, okay? She was a young girl. She met Brad Pitt. They lived together for 3 months, had a mad love affair. Oh, yes. I was there. They knew each other before Jennifer found Brad Pitt. Why it never came out in public, I'll never know. But Angie never stole him away from Jennifer. That was a lot. No. They just had sex. It was kind of like Angie wasn't into love. Angie was a strange girl, but a lovely girl. Anyway, this is a fact. My daughter Deirdre will tell you that. And she knew Brad before Jennifer did. So and when they did Mr. and Mrs. Smith, that love affair rekindled.
Well, okay, then give me a little inside scoop. Clooney?
George Clooney? What about him?
Is he or isn't he?
I'm not saying what. No, don't say that, Jimmy, because George is a lovely human being.
That doesn't matter. We'll just say
no. George wants his privacy. Stop. You don't know, Jimmy. Don't do that about George. He wants his privacy. He's married. He has a child, and he.
So are you.
But you know what? I came out. I don't.
Okay, go ahead. Next one. What else do you want to know?
I don't out people ever unless they
George,
want to.
George
is straight. I wish he was straight from my bedroom, but he's not.
Don't we all?
Woo! Now that's a guy that I could see you with, an old 58-year-old guy.
Well,
That's
I
something.
like the sophisticated. I want someone who's like gonna cook in the kitchen and play some opera, and I'm kind of an old soul like that.
Well, what's wrong with that? Every man likes a home-cooked meal, and every man, when he's screwing his wife, wants to hear her sing like an opera star.
Do you know who Patrick Warburton is? I think he's married though, but Patrick Warburton would be good for you because he's like tall and he's good looking and he's hung.
Those are all good things. I mean, I feel like maybe I'm making a mistake because I've dated a couple bald guys, and at the end they're really insecure. And I always think they have all this false bravado, but I think from losing their hair, I mean, you both have this beautiful heads of hair. I think it makes them insecure.
It could be.
Also, they have hairy chests.
Oh,
and when you bite on their nipples, you get hair in your teeth. So that's not a good thing.
Floss.
That's true.
So you want, if they, see, like, look, I have a full head of hair. And I have not a hair on my butt, or maybe two.
No way.
Yeah.
Is that how it works?
Notice, most men that are bald have the hairiest bodies. Somehow the hair didn't get up to the head.
Oh my God, that's so truthful.
So it's true. And go for an Italian.
Yeah, they got lots of hair there.
And go for an Italian, because an Italian, they're usually hung. And they're very sexy people. I'm Italian.
Of course.
I believe you. I believe it. But you do. It's true. You have the confidence. It's like there is a certain thing where, I won't say there's certain people in media right now that you just couldn't be hung if you're so insecure.
No, if I were straight and younger, of course, and I were with you, you would be no challenge for me. We would get along fine because we would be a team. I would play off of you and have you play off. Like Jimmy and I, we play off of each other.
That's really good advice. I need that. I need to realize I need somebody who who instead of being intimidated or letting me go do my thing, wants to do something with me and be.
Sadie, you are not demure. You are not the girl next door. You are some kind of a man's masturbation fantasy, vision of, I don't know what the hell to say. I mean, a straight guy would have a masturbation fantasy about how.
They all already are in the chat.
No. It wouldn't be like he married you and on honeymoon night lifted your skirt. It would have to be like he married you and threw you across the room on the bed, smacked you a few times, threw your legs open, and dove in. I mean, it has to be like that kind of thing.
That's what I need.
Passion.
Well, I like a little hair pulling, a little.
A little smacking around
passion.
doesn't hurt anybody. A little pushy.
Now that we're here, we'll find somebody cool for you that we can introduce you to. We're just really starting to get our going outs now because we've been working on the house literally every day. But we'll start working on it.
What year was your house built?
8 years. No, it's not a mid-century. I hate those houses. I lived in mid-century.
You already did.
I'm mid-century. What the hell do I need to go back to mid-century? I grew up in I Love Lucy kind of house. 1955. I was 15, so that was mid-century. I drove all those wonderful mid-century cars. I had a 63 Thunderbird convertible, which I paid $4,500 for and didn't know how I was going to pay for it. Now it goes for about $75,000. I wish I had one. But I want to just talk one quick second about Jane Russell.
We have like 3 minutes.
On my Facebook page. Everybody on my Facebook page. That picture of Jane Russell is a lie.
That's not her.
And it is Jane's head. The tits are not Jane. Jane was a 36B. The woman that's here half naked with those gigantic 42 Ds hanging out is somebody else. Jane was my very dearest and best friend, and I will defend her till I die. That picture is a hoax, a fraud, bullshit.
Why did people do that? Why? What's the point? Why did people do that?
Why? Because she was famous for her tits, and Jane used to get upset about it. When I interviewed her on my show, I said, Jane, what size bra were you in 1940? 36B, honey. I was no 38 double D. I'm no cow. You know, that's how she spoke. So she was really upset about the fact that she was famous for her tits when she didn't even have any tits. 36B, I mean, my God. 8-year-olds have them today. But anyway, so everybody out there that read my Facebook page, and I want to direct this to Reed, who the hell is his name? Whoever you are, get over this picture. Stop jerking off to it because it ain't real. Reed Tobias. Okay, babe? Now you know that's not the real Jane Russell.
So here's what we're going to do, everybody. First of all, you guys, follow Sadie on Twitter. She's at Sadie_Katz. You spell Sadie, SADIE_KATZ. Make sure to watch the Bill Murray Experience. It's on all the digital download sites. I
want to say something quick. Sadie, because I love you so and because you're so interesting, I would like you to receive a phone call from Eileen Shapiro, who writes for the Huffington Post. She will do an interview on you and get all that wonderful stuff out that we love, okay? Eileen's listening in now. She's still in?
I don't know if she's still in.
Eileen, are you still here?
Huffington Post fan. I'm a news junkie and I love them. I would be super honored.
She will do it because she's our best and dearest friend in the whole world. She's like my sister.
And she's my business partner in my PR firm.
And she and Eileen is 5 foot tall and her tits are real. Her bra size is probably 48 triple C. I've never seen knockers like it in my life. No, really. If she turns a corner, we know it's Eileen because her tits come first. Then we see the head come around the corner.
Also, hold on, you guys. So listen, do wrong to
Eileen, are you in?
She's not there right now.
How dare you not watch
the Bill Murray Experience, you guys, rent it. Also, you got to, if you like horror movies, just watch Wrong Turn 6. You'll really like it. Bus Party Hell's coming out in April. Maybe if you want to like talk to the director and stuff, if you want, maybe we could set up like a 4 or 5 of you all Skype in at the same time, and we could promote the movie on a show when it comes out. But I'm already booking April, so we'd have to do it kind of soon. And I guess we should thank October Coast, too, for setting this up. But if you have anything from, you can just like shoot me an email, and we'll set it up.
Okay. I love you guys so much. You always
more.
make my day.
I will see you in April at
We'll
our
see
house.
you. Yes, we're going to see you soon.
A housewarming present. Any request?
Well, don't bring me anything. I have more shit in this house that I don't know what to do with. I'm giving it all to my daughters. I've collected all my life. And, we had things in storage. So we opened up those boxes.
It's like Christmas.
Said, oh, my God, this was 1963.
I had like action figures like packed for like 5 years that I've never seen.
No, darling, you bring yourself.
Do you have an action figure?
I'll bring something nice. What?
Do you have an action figure?
Bring the wine you like. We'll do that.
Action figure, I don't.
Okay, when you get an action figure, I want that.
But I do love you.
All right, everybody.
And I'm happy you're on the show. When Jimmy said you were coming on, like whatever it was, a week ago, I was so excited. Because, we have so many good friends we've made through Skype. I mean, there are other stars and actresses who are coming to our home, and I really mean it. And all of our listeners and viewers know that I'm not lying, but you're one of my special people. Sadie.
He loves you.
I do love you.
And we do too.
I can't wait to see you guys in person. I love you.
Hanging out with you is going to be
gotta go.
fun.
All right, Sadie, I'm going to email you my email. Bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye,
Sadie.
Bye.
You got to love it.
Bye, honey. That's one of the nicest people in our business. I love and adore Sadie.